Today we are going to talk about a couple cold cases that we both find very interesting.
Not freezing cold, but pretty chilly.
Yeah. God. You're such a nerd.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you ready?
Let's cold case.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Hello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up. Okay, so my cold case is Brandon Swanson. Have you heard it?
Is he related to Ron Swanson?
Not at all.
From Parks and Rec? No, sorry. Go ahead. No, I've not heard of this
Okay,
one.
he's been missing for 11 years.
Okay.
His case is still open. To this day, it is still open. Are you ready to dive in? It's long, but it's not going to take long. You know what I mean? Okay. On May 14th, 2008, he was 19 years old when he went missing. He went out with friends to celebrate, end of spring semester kind of thing. He went to a couple different parties with buddies, whatever. He went to Minnesota West Community and Technical College. So this all takes place in, Minnesota. Okay.
Nice.
He left his home in Marshall, Minnesota, and headed to Lynd, Minnesota, Lynd, to go to these parties. The final party that he went to was in Canby, Minnesota. I'm going to quit saying Minnesota now because we know we're in Minnesota, okay? It was about 30 miles away from his house, okay? About midnight, he was done. He was ready to go home. It's going to take off. This computer,
It's ready to go home, too.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, the final party he went to was in Canby, which was about 30 miles away from his house. Around midnight, he decided to go home. He took a back road. Okay, so normally he travels this exact route to school, and he takes a highway. Okay? He decided to take the back roads. The farm fields, the
scenic route.
It was rural. There was farms and trees and woods, and there was no highway type material.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why he decided to take this way. He drives that school route every day, but he decided to take this different route, and absolutely nobody knows why. At 2 a.m., he called his parents. He said he was in a ditch. Can you please come get me? I'm in a farm. I'm in a field. I'm in a ditch in a field. I'm in Lynd. I made it back to Lynd. Can you please come get me? Of course, they said yes. They stayed on the phone with him. He couldn't get his car free. It was everything I read said it was kind of up, and he couldn't get enough traction to go back. It was completely stuck. His parents stayed on the phone with him this entire time.
Okay.
They were on the phone with him. They got in the car immediately, obviously, and drove towards Lynd, which wasn't very far. They weren't very far from, I think I read 30 minutes away from him. It was not a far distance. They got in the car, headed to him. The parents and him both agreed to flash their headlights when they came close to each other. So, if he saw a car, he was to flash his headlights. And if they saw the flashing headlights, they would flash theirs, knowing, hey, it's us. You're fine, it's us. They started to get in an argument over the phone because they were in the area that he said he was, the parents were, but they couldn't find him. And he's like, I'm right off the road. You can't miss me. You know what I mean? He's not far away down in a culvert or anything. He is right on the side of the road. They got in a pretty good argument, and he hung up. Brandon got mad, and he hung the phone up. They drove this road up and down several times. Could not find him. Had no idea where he was. His mom did call him back. He did answer. So they were back on the phone again. So they had the one hang up. They're back on the phone again. He told his dad he would just walk to a friend's house in Lynd and head that way. Head, back into town, whatever. He ended up, I guess, on the walk, I'm assuming, because it didn't really give description as to where. He told his dad to meet him at a pub or a bar close by because he wasn't too far from that place. He wasn't too far from this bar.
Okay.
Meet me here, pick me up, we'll get my car tomorrow, whatever. He decided to take a shortcut and walk through a field instead of staying on the road.
Right.
So, car is damaged. We're walking through a field at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. at this point, probably. I mean, It's in the middle of the night,
First of all, makes no sense.
Right.
Middle of the night, you're trying to get your parents to find you. Why would you take a shortcut through a field?
I think it was like an aggravation type of thing.
Yeah.
I think he was mad because his parents couldn't find him, and his parents were mad because you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm here, no, you're not. That's what it seems like anyway.
I wondered if he was intoxicated.
Well, he went to these 2 parties, but all of his friends and his parents said that he was completely level-headed. Like,
Okay.
yes, he did drink, but I don't think he was to the part of drunk.
Well, maybe that's why I took back roads, though, thinking, well,
That's
I'm
a
good to
possibility.
drive, but maybe
I didn't think
to
about
be
that.
safe, maybe.
I'm going to take the back road so I'm not on the highway just in case. Yeah. So they decided to go meet at this pub, and he knew a shortcut through a field. He thought he knew a shortcut through a field. Okay, they were on the phone for a total of 47 minutes after that hang-up. Okay, 47 minutes as he's walking through the field. They're just talking to him, trying to figure out exactly where you are, where you're going. Where's your car, dude?
Yeah.
Like, we can't find it. It's not here.
Dude, where's your car?
That's...
Yeah.
I've thought about that show in forever. All of a sudden, he yells, "Oh, shit," and then complete silence. But the phone did not hang up.
Wow.
Nothing
So they
on the
heard
other end.
What happened next?
Nothing.
Oh.
They
It didn't
sat
hang
there.
up, but it stayed silent.
It stayed silent. There was never a hang up. It never. Obviously, this is 2008, so we don't have phones like today.
Aliens.
That's one of the weird theories. But eventually, after screaming, "What's wrong?" Like, what I read, the parents were like waiting for him to say, "Oh shit, I fell." Because he's in a field. If you've ever seen a field before, it's not even. It's up and down and mud and muck and,
Right. Or maybe a coyote or a wolf. Or,
exactly.
I don't know.
They're kind of like, oh shit,
Minnesota,
what?
but...
Hello? You know, he's not there. He's not answering. Eventually, his parents did hang up the phone because after so many minutes of no, they thought, okay, the call dropped, but it just didn't end on our part.
Yeah.
So they called him back and called him back and called him back directly to voicemail every time.
His phone was shut off. Like
instant voicemail. Like no rings, no nothing. Voicemail picks up immediately. For the rest of the night, his parents... They called his friends, you know, hey, you know, all the boys, come on, let's find. They drove up and down this road. They drove down other roads thinking maybe he was lost. You know, you don't.
Yeah.
He knows this route, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't know this route. It takes you the same place. It's just not the highway he normally takes. They searched all night for him. And finally, at 6:30 a.m., his mother, Annette, finally called the police. What do you think the police said?
I don't know.
If you listen to a lot of true crime or, okay, if you do, or cold case, like any missing person, like especially, not necessarily now, but like back anywhere between, I'm going to say before 2010.
They usually don't consider
They
missing
don't care.
it, right?
They're not
like
missing.
At least like what 48 hours or
Literally,
something.
yeah. They told her pretty much, he's a college kid. Spring classes just ended. He went off. He's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. One police officer was actually quoted saying, "It's his right to be missing."
Wow.
It's his right to be missing, is what this cop said. I saw that on several different articles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't care who's concerned or that his last words were,
"Oh shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the middle of the night. There's a field.
Right.
Like there's so like what?
And the fact that he had wrecked, that alone should draw in police
It's not
attention.
like he just was like
find his car. He's wrecked.
exactly.
You know?
It's not just like they went to his house and he wasn't there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, he has the right to not answer his phone and not be home, but
Exactly.
his car is in a
and they
ditch.
were on the like, do something, bro. Come on. Like, at least one officer go with them to help. Anything.
I mean, you see cops
Anything.
take the time to, you know, speed trap and stuff. Why not take the time to actually solve something, right?
So, of course, the police, or the parents kept searching, and the friends all night long, like literally all night long. I think I read it was 24 hours later, maybe it was 48. I don't remember. The cops finally joined. They're finally like, okay, gotcha. You're right. He's missing. They finally joined. The police were able to ping the cell phone for the last phone call that was made, which was his mother's. So they got it pinged. And the location wasn't in Lloyd at all.
What?
It was 20 miles away in an area near a town called Taunton. It was nowhere near Lloyd. It was literally 20 miles away.
What?
Yes. They found his Chevy Lumina in a ditch off Lion Lincoln Road. Just like you said, right off the side of the farm road. There's fields everywhere. You know what I mean? he got lost somehow.
Yeah.
And he thought he was here, but he was not here.
He thought he was there, but he wasn't.
Exactly. There was no sign of foul play, no sign of anything. There was no blood. There was nothing disturbing in or within the car. The only thing that was weird is they found his glasses in the car. He was legally blind.
Really?
In his left eye.
So, like, he couldn't have been driving without them. He couldn't really been walking without them.
Exactly. Like,
why would he take off from
He
his car
cannot
without
see
his
without
glasses?
his glasses.
Yeah.
He is legally blind in one eye. That is a big why.
And he told them he was going to take off walking, yet he didn't take his glasses? That is strange.
Okay. They had police dogs, helicopters, and hundreds of volunteers. Hundreds of people came out. They searched this entire area. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a footprint, not an article of clothing, nothing. 3 miles from where the car was found was a river called Yellow Medicine River. Okay. The dogs, of course, got his scent. His scent ended at the river. But they found his scent again on the other side of the river a couple miles down.
Wow.
So he could have went into the river.
Being dark, he
and everything.
Oh,
well,
I didn't know this water was here.
And that could have been the shit. But the only thing with that is, wouldn't the parents hear water?
Right, they should have heard a splash or something. Yeah.
Yes, but then again, it's 2008. Cell phones aren't great, so the minute that phone hit water, it.
Yeah, or he could have dropped his phone as he was falling in, and it fell on the ground. I don't know.
Somehow, scent was on one side, then it was on the other side.
Wow.
A couple miles down.
That's wild.
And everything I read said that the river was flowing pretty fucking good.
Huh.
So yeah, there's that.
And weird to send him to the other side and not downstream.
It was like downstream the other side. Like that's why I said a couple miles down. Like he got in.
I thought you meant like across the river.
No. Like a couple miles down.
That makes sense.
They followed the trail on the other side for a couple miles, and it just dead ended out of nowhere, and the dogs were done. Like no more scent pickup. Just out of nowhere in the middle of nowhere. In late 2008, the emergency support services searched. They got a grid for 140 square mile, area of interest. That is the area they mapped out where they want searches to happen. A lot of the farmers refused to let the dogs on their land because it was harvest season. That is the only excuse they gave. It's harvest season. Nothing more. They do not come on my land, and they can't. Yeah. It's their land. You can't do anything. You know what I mean? There's absolutely nothing. They did dredge the lake. Absolutely nothing. There were no footprints. There was nothing.
Wow.
Absolutely no sign of this kid. Like, none. No sign at all. One of the dogs did get a scent on a piece of farming equipment, but he was one of the farmers that said, absolutely do not come on my property, so they could not search that any further. Right? That's fucking sus.
Yeah.
On July 1st, 2009, his parents pushed for a bill to be passed called Brandon's Law. It was passed. It requires authorities to immediately take missing people's reports and investigate instantly. I'm not sure if this was just in Minnesota. Yeah. Because I know to this day, it's like, is it 24 hours? If it was a little kid, it's different. But he's a 19-year-old boy. You know what I mean? Right. Like, he's a man, essentially. They're still searching for him today. Wow. Like, that's the story. They're still searching for this thing.
They never figured out anything, though.
Absolutely nothing. They're still searching for him. They are still getting calls, tip line calls to this day. Tip line calls with like, I remember this at the party. I remember that at the party. Oh my goodness, I saw him. You know, like still getting calls to this day. In fall of 2021, the Yellow Medicine River dried up from a drought. Completely dried up. They are still digging in that river to try to find something. Bones, shirts, clothing, anything. It's been 11 years. Yeah. I mean, 2021, so it's been like 9 years. Yeah. But still, they're still dredging. Like,
and they've got different theories of what.
Yeah, we'll do the theories in a second. They also have no physical evidence that he fell into the water. But if he's just walking along
and doesn't see
and
the
just
water,
takes a step into the water. But my thing is, if that river's flowing hard, you can hear it. Yeah. You can hear there's a river coming forward. And I understand it's dark and it's the middle of the night, but like...
Unless there was just no signal where he stopped, something could have shut his signal. That makes sense, but I don't know.
That's it. That they still don't know. They're still searching. It is still an open case, 100%. Here's some theories some people have. He faked the whole thing for a new identity.
Wonder why.
I don't know. I don't like that theory. Yeah. I don't like that theory with really any kind of
calling and asking for help. It's not like...
Exactly. It's not like he just disappeared. Because he probably had every means to disappear. He didn't live with his parents,
and he didn't have his car. How would he...
Exactly. Yeah. He left his car and everything. Obviously, he fell in the river and he did drown. That's another theory. Which that's pretty plausible. I think a lot of the authorities actually believe that. Like, that's what I saw. The authorities do believe. Where did his body go?
They dredged the river. Where did his body go? It dried up.
There's so many things with that, too. Why did the scent come back on the other side?
Right.
Why did his scent go on farming equipment?
Yeah.
Like, that's a scent a dog picks up. That's not, like, a casual thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
There are wells out here. Another theory is he fell into a well. Like, as he was walking, he fell deep into the well, and they don't know where this well is, can't find this well. The people don't, like the searching people. Yeah. And he's bones. That's another big theory. And the last one is the most gory one, but it's the one I feel like I believe. You ready? It's so bad, dude, but think about it. He did cross the river. He got across the river, but it dropped down into the 40s that night, which hypothermia is a thing. And that is enough to give you hypothermia, especially if you're wet.
Yeah.
So when you get hypothermia, essentially you pass out or you have to lay down because your body cannot fucking move anymore.
Right.
And a farmer hit him with his tractor.
That makes sense, but... where would the blood be? There's no blood. There's no sign of anything.
But have you ever seen a combine taking out a field?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there would at least be some blood. Like, no. Surely.
You've got to think all the corn or beans or grains that go through that. It's going to sweep it up.
You're talking about maybe he was on his land by that point.
He's in the middle of a field with hypothermia laying there. A combine hits him. Because those combines can't see everything.
But then again, no footprints and no... the leading there.
Yeah.
Like, my first thought was with that farmer. He's not allowing them on the land. They picked up the scent on the machinery. That makes sense.
I think it was that one. I think he got hit by a farmer. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of a farmer hitting a deer. They don't feel it. There's no feeling. There's no blood. There's no motion. They, like, later see bones in their field.
The only thing I can't is that the phone call's weird. The whole situation with the phone, and then why would there be no footsteps leading to his land? But otherwise, that's the most logical, other than aliens.
With the footsteps, you can say, okay, like, we live in the Midwest, so there are farms around us.
Yeah.
I could take a walk right now to the cornfield close to my house. You're not going to see any footprints.
Yeah.
Why would you see footprints?
Especially if it was cold. Well, not cold enough to be icy, I guess. But...
40 degrees, but you got to think, if it's been dry.
Yeah.
It never said anything about mud. Or muck or anything like that. So,
but if he was coming out of the water, he would have left. I don't know. That's all just so weird.
The whole thing's so weird.
I was thinking maybe farmer found him before he even got to his land.
That's another theory too. There's another theory about aliens.
Maybe he's in that farmer's basement somewhere.
There's a theory a farmer found him and was pissed he was on his land and took him and killed him. And then disposed of the body. He could have used the farming equipment to dispose of the body.
Yeah.
There's a lot of theories. Obviously, there's always a lot of theories in this. But I think it's a horrible one. But my personal theory is the tractor hit him. And
that makes the most sense out of the ones they
especially
have
with the equipment picking up the scent. That was a door in the background. But yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, he was obviously there somewhere to get...
Another door in the background.
What is going on?
Slamming door time.
But, aliens, too. Maybe aliens.
That's another little theory, yeah.
Because, I mean, to lose signal right there. And it's almost like he knew the area well enough to think he knew where he was.
I think he thought he knew where he was. It's
almost like one of those glitch in the Matrix things again.
Right.
Like, I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm actually somewhere else.
Yeah. But I mean, strange. I can understand him walking along and the oh shit could have been him like stumbling into the water.
Right, that makes sense.
Phone hits water once again. We're in 2008. Our phones aren't like they used to be. The second water hit that phone, it shut off.
Yeah, that could
But it didn't disconnect because it's a water situation.
And they never found his phone?
They never found anything. No phone, no wallet, nothing.
Weird.
No piece of clothing, no shoe, absolutely fucking nothing.
That is so weird, because if he'd have gone in the water, you'd surely...
My thing with the clothes and all of that getting hit by the farmer, though, there would be remains of clothes somewhere, some way. That thing cannot grind... Well, I guess it could grind it up, because it takes all the... You know what I mean? It takes all the...
But falling with his phone would have surely been somewhere in that water when it dried out or something. Something would have been there.
Something would have been found.
I don't know. That's very strange.
Yeah. Today they're still searching for this man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot
I can't
more.
believe, I could not. Like, his family, his mom and dad. Like, obviously he was close with him. He was on the phone with him for 47 minutes.
Yeah. And to think that they're so close, they're trying to find him. They're trying to
Exactly.
find him. They can't get to him.
And he was 20 minutes away. Like, how? I don't know. Just his parents. Like, just think. They still don't know. But they've pushed for that bill and they got the bill.
Yeah.
Like, they're still, and they're
At least
still.
they, like, got some good out of this situation.
Not
Like,
really good. I mean,
to help families in the future.
something bad always has to happen for a
Yep.
bill or something
Yep.
to pass. And that is fucking insane to me.
That's how it goes.
That cop should have said, oh my goodness, okay. Now, I
Right?
understand, like I said before, I would understand if they came in and said, we went to our husband's, I'm sorry, our son's apartment and he's not there.
Right.
Okay, honey.
like, I
there's
called
no
him, he
sign,
didn't answer.
There's no
No.
sign of foul play.
Different
He's
situation.
walking and talking on the phone for 47 minutes, screams,
After
oh shit.
wrecking his car and
After
asking
wrecking
for
his
help.
car. Says, oh shit, phone is dead.
Like, if someone wrecks and calls for help, the cops come.
Exactly.
That makes no sense.
So, like, what in the fact that cop said he has the right to be missing.
How strange.
I wonder how long that cop stayed on that force, because that's bullshit.
Yeah. And it almost makes you wonder if there's, like, something going on in the area that the cop almost knew about. But, like...
No, I don't think it's that deep. I think this is 2008. Cops have egos. Some cops have very big egos. And I'm sure they hear this stuff all the time. It's obviously a college town.
Yeah.
My son isn't answering his phone. I get it. But when you have a story like that to go behind it, fucking follow up.
Right?
Get your ass out there and help them. I mean, essentially they wouldn't be looking in the right place, but they could have pinged that kid's phone immediately.
Yeah.
Could have gotten there hours, days sooner.
Yeah. Could have maybe...
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that long, after just a couple days, your chances are so much lower of...
Well, nights that cold, water, river, all those things, your chances are horrible already.
Yeah.
He's gone. There's no way that man is not alive. But I'm going to go with I still want to go with the tractor hit him theory. Like,
yeah, there's something with the farmer for sure. There's something going on there.
Yeah.
Especially with the scent. And, yeah. Mine isn't quite as mysterious, I guess. Maybe not as interesting, but it is still considered a cold case, even though they have a lot of theories. Some explanation, maybe. It is still technically unsolved. Okay. So this is about a woman, a mother, Dorothy Jane Scott. She was 32 years old, had a 4-year-old little boy. She lived in California. This was back in 1980, so a while. Still pretty much
so
unsolved.
That's like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, and her son...
It's more than 20. I was being funny.
Well, way more than 20.
20 years ago feels like 1980. That's why I said it. But you agreed, so you think so too.
Oh, I thought you said more than 20 years ago.
I said it was like 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago was
45
2020.
years? 45 years
no.
ago?
Oh my God. 20 years ago was 2000. So it was 40 years ago.
What is this year? 44. Hello, am I awake?
2024.
It's 2024.
So 20 years ago would have been 2000. 20 years before that would have been
So 44 80. Years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I guess her son, still to this day is, wanting justice and wanting to figure this out. Because he's the only one still alive. But okay, so her name was Dorothy Jane Scott.
Okay.
I think I said that. She was a single mother. Everyone that knew her said she was very kind and loving and lived a pretty basic kind of dull life. She was very involved in the church and Christian and very kind and just kind of lived a simple life. She raised her little boy on her own. She's really close to her family. Her parents would help babysit. And that they know of, she wasn't in a relationship of any kind. She didn't have a love interest or she'd date occasionally but wasn't ever serious with anyone.
Right.
Anyone that they could think would be doing this. But 1980, she started receiving phone calls from a stalker type of man. Threatening calls, but also like very stalker-like calls, like, proclaiming his love for her and how much she means to him, but also like talking about her daily activities. Like he was watching her every move. He was watching her son's every move. He knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh my
every
God.
Little thing.
Her son?
Yeah.
You said he's 4, right?
4
he's
years
4.
old.
Oh my God.
So she started getting worried. But then they got more threatening. He would say things like that when he got her alone, he would cut her up in little pieces, things like that. And one day he told her to go outside because he had a gift for her. Why she went outside, I don't know.
So she did go outside?
I guess she did go outside. All she found was a single dead rose on her windshield. Why she went out there, I don't know. But, so this went on for, I believe, a couple weeks. She kept receiving these calls, and she got to a point where she was scared.
So the calls only lasted a couple of weeks, and they started with hello, and they ended with, I'm going to chop you up into little pieces?
Yeah, so I guess they'd go back and forth from, like, at that point, like, I love you so much. I'm watching you.
Schizophrenic?
It sounds like this guy had some problems, some mental issues. But she got to a point where she was so scared. She started taking karate classes. She wanted to purchase a handgun. She was starting to really want to protect herself.
Did she ever call the cops?
So they tried to get the cops involved, but the cops tried. They tried to screen the calls, but he would only stay on the phone for like a few seconds to say what he had to say, drop it, and that was it. Right. So they never really had any leads. Okay. And this didn't go on long enough to where they could really figure anything out. So one night, May 28th, 1980, she dropped her little boy off with her parents. She was going to attend a work meeting. She worked at a store. She was like a secretary, and it was just some type of staff meeting. Well, she walked in, and one of her coworkers didn't look very well. He was sickly, whatever, and he had, his arm looked red and swollen, and she was worried about him, so she offered to take him to the hospital. Another coworker went with them, a woman. So the three of them go to the hospital, take her coworker. He gets checked out. Evidently, he'd had a black widow spider bite.
Oh my God, did he live?
Yeah, he lived. They treated him. They caught it early enough. They treated him. But
I thought you didn't live from black widow spider bites.
That's what I thought too. And this was in the 80s before they
Yeah, it probably wasn't black widow.
That's what it said, but I don't know. Maybe it was a brown recluse. But still,
that one you can anti-venom. Yeah, okay.
But I guess they got there. They got him treated, and he was released several hours later. So Dorothy Jane and her other coworker sat in the waiting room and waited the entire time. Her other coworker says Dorothy never left her side. They were together the entire night.
Okay.
So the coworker gets released from the hospital, and the other coworker is with him as he's filling his prescription. And Dorothy says, I'm going to run to the restroom, I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to get the car, and I'll meet you back at the front. So a couple minutes pass. They don't think much of it. They think, oh, she's running to the bathroom, she's going to get the car.
Right.
They go out to wait for her, and they see her car, but it's like coming at them. The headlights are shining at them, and then it like vroom, runs off and like speeds out of the parking lot. They can't see who's driving because the headlights are right at them. So
oh my God.
They assume maybe she had an emergency with her son, because this is before cell phones, so they couldn't just call and say, hey, Dorothy, what are you doing? So they're assuming, oh, maybe she had to go get her son really fast and couldn't tell us. So they wait a couple hours.
Okay, but how would she know about her son? There's no cell phones.
Right.
But I guess in the moment you could think that, especially back then. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they thought she called from a hospital phone. I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt that.
But I guess before she went to the hospital, she did stop back by to check on her son.
Okay.
And because I remember they said she changed scarves. She changed from a black scarf to a red scarf, I believe. So that was like a key thing to remember, that she had this specific color of a scarf on.
So if we have a red scarf now, had a black scarf earlier. Okay. Yeah.
So they're the other two leave the hospital. They get back home. It's been hours, and they still haven't heard anything. They check in with their parents. They haven't heard anything. Nobody knows where Dorothy went. They just know that she sped off from the hospital. They don't know why. Well, it's that next morning around 4:35 a.m. They find her car. It's a white Toyota station wagon. They found it about 10 miles from the hospital, and it had been burnt, like set ablaze. But there was no one inside it. So the car,
like remains or bones.
Nope.
Or, okay.
The car was empty, but it had been burnt.
Okay.
Could not find her. No, they looked all over, couldn't find her. I guess a week went by before I guess they got the cops involved, but nothing was found. They searched, they couldn't find anything.
So who found the car? The cops or the friends?
I guess the cops. I'm not sure on that. Somebody found it.
So did they wait a week and then get a hold of the cops probably, and then they found the car?
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay.
Because I couldn't find any information about if they were looking for her during that time, what was going on. Like,
I mean, it's also the 80s, and it's not, you're not as, like, connected to your coworkers.
So, the car was found the next morning.
Okay.
But after that, they're not as, that's true. But she had her parents right there, and, like, her aunt, and, like, all her family's there, and saw her regularly, and talked to her daily. So, like, they were looking for her, and about a week later, the family finally decided to run a story in the paper. Well, the editor of the paper got a call from a man saying...
Like a missing person story, like if you've seen her, please... Okay.
Yep. And they got a call from a man saying that Dorothy was my love. I caught her cheating. She denied the cheating, and then he admitted to killing her. Of course, the call was not held long enough, once again...
To be traced.
They have no idea who it came from. But he evidently... I don't know if he made more than one call or what, but he knew the color of her scarf. He knew where she had been, that she had checked on her son. He knew that she'd been to work. He knew the details about the spider bite from the hospital. He knew every detail. And he had told, at this point, he was making calls to the parents too, like threatening calls. This went on. These calls went on, like, I guess every Wednesday for 4 years. This man called her parents. Called her mom
and
specifically.
And she's still missing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, for the following 4 years, this same man keeps calling, and it's her mom who answers. And it's like a weekly thing, like, he's just torturing her. And he'd say things like, I have her. Or he'd call and say, is Dorothy home? Do you know where Dorothy is? Oh, I have her. Things like that.
Like taunting.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Just like pretty much torturing her.
Okay.
But, so for 4 years, and then finally one call, Dorothy's father answered, and he immediately hung up. So they think maybe it was someone that the father had seen or known to where he thought he would recognize his voice.
Okay.
So there are theories that there was a man who used to own the store where she worked, who was a little mentally unstable, lived in the mountains, had some mental health issues. He was known to be into cult activities and get easily obsessed with people. So they think maybe it was him.
Okay, I have a problem with the cult activities in that sentence there. Nothing about this was cult.
Right.
So my point is you read that in an article, obviously. Why would they throw that in, the article?
Right.
Like, this has nothing to do with the cult.
Yeah.
Because it was the 80s, and he probably listened to AC/DC. Like, I'm dead serious.
Right.
Like, he listened to the bad music, so he was...
Just because he lived in the mountains and was...
Exactly.
Who knows? His name
Okay, if this is the killer, like, if this ends up being the person who killed her, and we find this out later in life, I am not condoning this man at all.
Right, but like, just because he was a little odd and lived in the mountains...
does not mean that article writer needed to write...
Right.
They think he was in a cult.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Because
keep going, I'm sorry.
To all of their knowledge, she didn't have a relationship with this man.
Right.
He didn't even work there anymore.
Okay.
I mean, she wasn't connected to him in any way.
Right.
And he wasn't at the work meetings currently. He didn't know what was going on. So, I guess, during one of the calls, whoever this man was had told them that Dorothy called him from the hospital and updated him and gave him everything. Well, the friend said, no, she was by my side the entire time. There's no way she could have called. Other than that few minutes she ran to the restroom and out to the parking lot, he was already there. So, they don't know how he got all the information to be inside the hospital and get all of that information unless he got it out of her in those moments. I don't know. But there was no way she could have made a call to him because the coworker's with her the whole evening in the hospital. So they're not sure. He's the only suspect they have thought because she didn't really date enough people or have enough...
What about other people she works with?
Yeah, they're not...
See, that would make more sense to me because, like, that person would know about the spider bite.
Right. That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They would know everything about the spider bite because they're going to go back to work and tell the story. So they would know about the spider bite, which I'm sure they interviewed all these people. I'm just saying, like, somebody...
But I couldn't read... I read so many articles and I couldn't find any other suspects, like anybody else they could have thought it could have been.
So I'm sure they, like, went through them all and they never...
Yeah. And to this day, I guess her son still believes that that's who it was and that he wants justice brought with this Mike Butler, but he can't prove that that's who it was. And the calls finally stopped in 1984. The family no longer, and I think her parents died somewhere in the 90s, early 2000s. So they died not knowing.
So the son doesn't get phone calls or anything like that?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
But also in 1984, a construction worker discovered. Now this is where it's like, okay, we know she died. We know she's dead. because the construction worker discovered charred bones near their area where they were working. And, they'd been completely burnt. But, mind you, this is 4 years later. And there had been a big brush fire in 1982, I guess. And they thought that the bones looked like they had been there for about 2 years. So they think that the timing was just right. And, but it was just like he said, little parts and pieces. It was like the skull, the pelvis, an arm, pieces of the thighs, like pieces. But buried underneath dog bones. Like they put the dog bones on top of it. Like maybe to mix it up and, get a little confusion in there. I don't know. But charred bones.
So what about the brush fire? Did the brush fire happen in that exact area where she was found?
The brush fire had come through that area in 1982.
So, that's confusing.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I don't know if they had the bones and then threw it out there and started the fire.
He killed her and left her, and then there was a brush fire that he could have started, essentially.
Right.
And
because we know this person charred her car initially, in the very beginning. So maybe he started that brush fire too.
Yeah.
But 2 years later? Like, why so...
Okay, 2 years after.
Yeah, 1982 is when they assumed the body was there.
Okay.
Is that right?
So maybe he held her for 2 years. Started the brush fire.
Maybe.
Because usually...
Unless I read it wrong, but it sounded like 1984 is when they found that stuff. They assumed that the fire happened... They know the fire happened in 1982, and it looked like the bones had been there for that long. Okay, but her car was found immediately the next morning, also charred.
So we know he likes the fire.
Right.
And usually if you stalk somebody, it's not always the case, but a lot of times the stalkers want time with the person. Mm-hmm. It's not just a kill and go.
If he truly loved her
and if
like
he's
that.
Still 4 years later communicating with the parents, there's a connection between those two that he has that obviously she didn't, even if she didn't know him. So this is my true crime brain dissecting this.
I love this because I don't do these very often.
So my theory, like what I would think happened just by hearing this, in my opinion, means fucking nothing, by the way. But it's just what my brain does. Okay, he kidnapped her. He burned her car so that people would think she was gone or dead or whatever. Yeah. He kept her for 2 years. If it is the mountain man, up in the mountain. Yeah. Doesn't matter if she's making phone calls. I've got her. Yeah. He probably did have her.
Yeah. He probably had her the whole time.
Exactly. And then eventually it probably got to where he accidentally killed her. Yeah. Or he killed her on purpose. Whatever. Yeah. And the dog bones. That's where I wonder if he burned her, like killed her and burned her because we like fire. Yeah.
And thought, maybe if I mix it with dog bones.
Exactly. And then catch a fire. Which it wasn't confirmed he started the brush fire, right?
Right. No.
They don't know. Mm-mm. So, or maybe it was just perfect chance to get rid of the bones.
That could be.
He could have had him for a year. He could have kept her for 3 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he could have kept her for enough time, then burned her. Yeah. Then put the bones with dog bones to throw people off.
Right. To try to, because it was just parts of the body. Just parts.
This is the 80s. Right. The car was found in the body was found in the 80s, right?
Right, 1984.
1984. So it's the 80s. We don't have DNA yet.
Right. Well, they did run dental records.
Okay, but we don't have, like, the good DNA, the familial DNA. The good, I think I said
and there wasn't enough there to really, I mean, there was just parts, but they were able to run the dental records and confirm it was her. Okay, so we do have dental. And they found her turquoise ring. I guess the arm had the ring on it, which why wouldn't he remove that? If he was trying to be, like...
He's got a problem. He didn't remove it for a reason. He wanted people to know this is her.
Yeah, even though he wanted to try to hide it with the dog bones, he still wanted them to know. It's very strange. This guy definitely had some issues.
That's how people are. That's how these people are. They do shit like this on purpose. There is a reason for every single thing that happened. Huh.
That's interesting.
And it's horrible that this probably beautiful human being had to lose her life. Yeah. Like, absolutely horrible.
But yeah, they were sure it was her turquoise ring, her watch, and they said it had stopped at a specific time. I don't know, that matched up with, I don't know. But then the dental records also confirmed that it was her. So, and this guy that they assumed, the one, the mountain man, the old boss, that he was off mentally, that they thought he had some issues. So very well could have, maybe he was obsessed with her, maybe he was following her this whole time, or maybe it was somebody completely different. I don't know, but to this day they still aren't sure who killed her, but they know that she did die. So I don't know. I found it interesting, but not as interesting as one you did, because that was a lot more.
Yours was pretty good. Like,
I feel like it's kind of a basic, like, lady disappears, but the fact that
they're never basic because somebody loses their life
Yeah.
and we're telling their story. So
Yeah.
it's never basic. Like,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there are more details out there somewhere, but the more I looked, the more things got kind of misconstrued.
Articles
and
get
things
misconstrued,
were,
especially older ones, which the 80s really isn't that old, but like you said earlier, like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
this has a totally different scarf color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Little stuff does
Yeah.
get misconstrued, but I think it's fun to tell, especially cold cases and true crime
Yeah.
every now and then. I think we're going to start doing them.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe mix up a little,
Spooky, ooky, ghosty,
Yeah.
ghosty. What are we going to do? Like ghost true crime?
maybe some paranormal true crime, mix it up. We'll figure it out, but we're
Yeah.
going to keep you entertained, I hope.
Yeah. Well, I hope the reason that the phone calls to the family stopped is because the fucking bastard who killed her died.
Right?
I'm just saying.
Right.
Because that's horrible.
Yeah.
Taunting
just
and
keep
tormenting. Like, dude.
It just can't end. You can't get
You
your closure.
already took their fucking child.
Right?
And you made
And
a son
that little boy's
motherless.
mother, right?
Like,
terrible.
that... People's brains are awful.
That is so messed up.
It really is. Okay, so if you'd like to get a hold of us for any reason, you can do so at onlyifyoucankeepup at gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
That was cute.
Why do I do that?
Bye.
Bye.